Ooh, we got the cast of Time Girl in the house. It's about to get real. Oh, we counting down. We are counting down. I'm excited. It's happening. 3, 2, 1. What up, world? It's your boy Cool Breeze, Justin Christie, back with another episode of the Talk Before the Walk. I'm extremely excited tonight. I've been waiting on this like all week since we interviewed the cast of Crossfire. You know, I've got to talk to Mikey Tiffany a little bit about this series here. It's going to be a TV series called Time Girl. It's about some time traveling. It's got Amelia Earhart in it. There's just so much to it. It's a sci-fi adventure, man. I'm super excited to you know really get to hear about what's going to be coming up with this series. Obviously, we got some great writers: Garrett O'Brien, Brian DeVries. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. I apologize. He'll correct me here in a minute. I'm sure it's probably DeVries or something. I'm an idiot. I should have probably asked him that before we started the show. But here we are, little improv. It is what it is. I am like super excited to have this. We got Mikey Tiffany in the house. I mean, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. We may have some surprise guests pop up here and there. We're not 100% sure what all's going to happen, so we're just going to wing it and play it by ear, which is always fun in the world of Justin Christie because we will just go with it. I dance in chaos sometimes, so this should be pretty fun. Real quick shout out to one of the sponsors for my show, the Firm Sports Management Group, for all your fighter management needs and next level fighter representation, representing fighters across the globe. Choose the Firm Sports Management Group to take your fight career to new heights. Special shout out to Rome Black Hulk Lindsay and Carlos Nacho Hernandez, who will be fighting in Tulsa tomorrow night for the XFN on UFC Fight Pass. Special thanks to McDaniels Diversified Services LLC for their support as well. All right, guys, we are going to have some fun tonight. I think the only proper thing to do is to start off with the brainchild of this whole operation himself, Mr. Mikey Tiffany. You want to talk about a guy with a great imagination, great backstory. I have a tremendous amount of respect for this man, and I'm really excited and honored to have him on my show. So without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Mikey Tiffany. Mikey, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how are you, man?
Man, I am finer than frog hair split 4 ways. I'm all of Twitter with glee. Super happy to have you here, man. You were on here last week with the Crossfire crew, but now we're talking about your project, your baby here. Tell me a little bit. Where does the concept of Time Girl come from? Like, how did you come up with this?
Well, when I was here in Jacksonville growing up, Jacksonville, Illinois, I went to Eisenhower grade school. And I remember going to the media center and finding a book about Amelia Earhart and other disappearances. And in that book, they talked about the Bermuda Triangle and Amelia Earhart. And somehow that it felt like one book to me, So like it stuck in my head that maybe Amelia went to the Bermuda Triangle and she got lost and then she ended up in a different world. So that just kind of stuck in my head. And when I talked about, we were going through a divorce with my kids and we were having all these car rides, where we would talk about different things. And it turned into me talking to my kids about that idea I had. And that it stuck with me. I would talk about it in high school. I talked about it all the way up about this idea. But my daughter looked at me and goes, well, if she still was alive, then she would have a granddaughter and she might have a son and she would have more family. And she was reading Harry Potter at the time, so it just kind of, I was like, wow, that's cool. Yeah, let's take it up a notch. And so it turned into her having this granddaughter named Ember Earhart. And she has a sister named Diamond that lives in the future that got separated from her. And then we needed a villain. So we decided to take someone from history, since it was Time Girl, Morgana Le Fay became our big villain. And so it just it sprouted from that beginning storyline. And we wanted to go get some artwork done at Comic-Con of our characters, and we kind of based Ember and Diamond off of Maggie and Carly, my 2 girls. And it just kind of, we came up with all these storylines in the car, and it's turned into 10 episodes.
That is phenomenal. Already working on how many episodes are you want to have per season?
Probably 10 per season is what we're thinking.
Okay.
And it is live action and animated. So they go to different worlds. They go back and forth. It's going to be very different from anything anybody's ever seen, because they
Okay.
also commit to the animated world. So when they go through the portal, they become that character.
Okay. All right. Right on. It kind of reminds me of what was that rock uh show that MTV did or whatever? Oh crap! They did a live action and anime with some like really good comic style graphics, but yeah, we need more of those. I mean, those are just phenomenal. I
Yeah.
think they work like 9 times out of 10. They work. Um, like I remember back, growing up, I remember seeing, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and that was probably one of the
Oh, yeah.
best movies of my time back then. Getting to see, stuff like Space Jam, where you have live action and cartoon mixed together and interacting with each other, and just how much you can screw that up, but how much whenever it works, man, is it hilarious? It's just on point. It's really good, and absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from your stuff. Let's talk a little bit about your characters. Kind of introduce some of the characters for me.
Oh,
Like I've actually
absolutely.
got a couple of these
Well,
pictures I want to pull up real quick first,
oh,
and
yeah.
we'll expand from there. So you sent me this darling fellow here. Tell me a little bit about him.
That is Rogan the Sasquatch. He's from Mars.
Okay, what's kind of his thing? What are we going to expect to see from him?
Well, he is. That's kind of. I can't tell you too much, but I
Yeah,
can
don't
tell you
don't
that
don't
he's.
spoil anything.
I can tell you that in our series that the Sasquatch are from Mars and that they are interdimensional space travelers.
Okay, all
So I
right,
can tell you that. And but yeah, we explain the history of Sasquatch and where they came from and why and what they do and why they disappear like they do. But yeah, they're very cool characters in our series and very kind.
awesome. Now we've got this drawing here, this piece of art. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's Amelia Earhart, and that's played by Deborah Twiss. She was in Kick-Ass and Law and Order. Great actress. Lots of indie films and 20 years of acting and great projects. Yeah, she's just wonderful. And then
And
that is
most
Ember
recently on the Talk
Potter.
Before the Walk last week.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, and that's Ember Earhart, her granddaughter, that she's training to be a time traveler. And they both have their necklaces that have God matter in them. And Ember, we hope to be played by Harley Quinn Smith. We're hoping to offer her that role, and that's
Okay.
Kevin Smith's daughter. But she's awesome. I think she's just perfect for that role.
No, what did you say was in the necklace?
God matter.
Tell me a little bit about God matter. What's is that similar to like the scientific theory about the God particle?
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said, tell me a little bit about God matter. Is that kind of similar to the scientific theory about the God particle that was like featured in some of the Dan Brown series?
Yeah, yeah, and we're kind of talking about like the powder or the matter from the Big Bang.
Okay, that'd be hard to get a hold of. That's awesome.
It,
That's an
it
interesting
makes
concept.
our
I mean, you could
character.
expand on that.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
tell me a little bit about what's going on here.
That is Amelia Earhart with her crew, and that's Marilyn Rivers and Fred Noonan.
Okay, right on. Now, what is Fred Noonan? How is he in relation to these guys?
Fred Noonan is the gentleman that was on the aircraft with Amelia when she was lost.
Okay, okay, outstanding. Now, I hear, or you told me before, and I've seen the social media announcement for it. You've got martial arts legend Cynthia Rothrock playing a part in this.
Yeah,
A
she's playing
lot of people
Marilyn
who don't
Rivers.
know her, she was one of the commentators from UFC One. Done a lot of really awesome stuff. I'll pull this up real quick. She's playing Marilyn Rivers. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Marilyn is Amelia's oldest friend, and they are part of this together. But Amelia disappears, and Marilyn decides to search for her.
Okay.
And
That's
yeah, she's a great character in this, and yeah, she is going to be an adventurer and a hero in this.
that's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. You've got a stellar cast already put together on this. I mean, I know she can't be with us today because she's not feeling very well. But Jennifer Rhee is one of your or is your executive producer. She's a phenomenal martial artist as well. I'm sure, like just like me finding out that Cynthia was there, I'm sure she was geeking out too. Uh, like I'm real big into. If you pay attention to my show, you obviously know I'm real big into martial arts. But tell me a little bit about this awesome character.
That's Pat Garrett in his cyber gear. But yeah, Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett are in our story, and I don't want to give too much away. But Pat Garrett and Billy both have continued adventures in Time Girl.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about this interesting creature.
This is Luna. She is the princess of Pluto. The cats actually come from Pluto. They're referred to as the Meows in Time Girl. And
Okay,
Luna, played by Sadie Katz. She's awesome, great actress, great voice, and she's going to be voice acting Luna. And she also plays Fiona Dracu, which is a vampire in our show.
okay, right on. I mean, having a planet full of cats would explain why you don't see much on the surface of Pluto. They're probably always knocking
Right.
things off. So, tell me a little bit about Deborah Twist.
That's Deborah Twist, and she's playing Amelia Earhart, and she's just perfect for the role. We do have some videos on YouTube that everybody can watch. If you look up Time Girl Productions, you can see the videos that Deborah's already done where she's playing Amelia. We have a
Hmm.
sizzle reel, and we also have like an interview where she's come back in 1958 and explains what happened to her. So,
Okay,
yeah, if you want to get a little glimpse of Time Girl, you can check those out. And then the little gentleman on her shoulder is Bink. He's a extraterrestrial from Mars, and I
okay.
actually get to do the voice for Bink.
Oh, cool. Yeah, would you mind giving me an
Yeah,
example of his voice?
I haven't figured that out quite yet, but yeah, we're gonna work on that. But
What are you
yeah,
kind of looking for to hear from him?
yeah, very soon. I'll give it to you. How about next time? We'll have it ready for you.
There we go. Okay, I definitely want to have you guys back on for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I actually have your sizzle reel pulled up. Would you be okay to watch this on
Oh,
here?
I love it. Yeah, great.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to share my screen on here. I'm just going to do the Chrome tab. I'm going to share the audio. Pop this up. Can you guys see that? All right.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, here we go. Take my brand off here real quick.
Where did she go?
All right. I'm actually going to replay this, but I'm going to mute it. I want to kind of go through this and let walk me through it. I'm going to, I wanted to hear all the sound and stuff first, but tell me a little bit about the sizzle reel.
Sure. So really what we wanted to show you through this is, Amelia going on her flight and getting ready for the flight. We didn't show Fred Noonan. We felt like it wasn't necessary for the sizzle. We felt like we really just needed to show Amelia going on the flight. So, we went to Ohio and shot this part here with the airplane. And then this shows her, showing her flight that she took, her last flight. And she got rerouted, though, and ended up going here to spy. And the Nazis open up this portal, and the time bell comes through. And that's actually a historical thing that the Nazis did create. It's called the Die Glock, which is a time bell. They're trying to make a time travel device, and it was on the History Channel. And I felt like, that's just a really great plot device for the villain of this. And so then she goes through the portal that was created and ends up in a different world, and you get to see where she ended up. And then this one, in this scene, we fast forward and you see Amelia still alive and handing these necklaces through a portal to her granddaughter and her best friend, Trinity Laveau. Trinity Laveau is the daughter of Marie Laveau, the voodoo witch doctor from New Orleans.
Okay.
But these two are best friends, and they're taking out their weapons, and then they're going into a portal to an animated world to fight the bad guys.
I've been to Marie Laveau's in New Orleans.
When you go through the portal, they turn animated as well. So, you commit to that universe when you go to it.
Okay. So these are the necklaces that have the God matter in it.
Correct. And
tell me a little bit about these watches.
To where
okay.
Yeah, the watches are a device for the Good Deeds Society to be able to track each other and also to put in the coordinates to where they want to go.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about these weapons. They look pretty gnarly, man.
Yeah. So that is Ember's gun, and it's powerful. And then the other weapon is an electric machete.
Okay.
And those are the necklaces charging up and opening up the portal. And then they go in and fight the unknown.
Now, what universe are they in here?
And that's more. What was that?
So what universe did they go into here?
That is a pocket dimension called Element.
Okay. That is awesome. I'm really excited about this. I think there's another one here. I'm going to play this one. I got to get past these ads. Because, I'm not paying for free or for paid for YouTube right now. Like, they can pay me. All right, I'm going to turn the volume on this.
Figure out. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I said I can't figure out how to get rid of the ads. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's not. It's whoever plays them. Like, they either have to have the ad free stuff. So I'm not personally purchasing the ad-free YouTube stuff because I don't watch that much YouTube personally. I'm too busy trying to make content than instead of watching it. But I'm gonna play this. We're putting the sound on, and then I'll replay it again. I want to kind of get your take on this stuff too as well.
Sure.
Kind of some Daily Planet stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, this is history in the making. We are now at a star-studded event, a welcome home event, if you will, for Miss Amelia Earhart, famed aviatrix, who disappeared nearly 20 years ago. I have the pleasure of sitting down with Miss Earhart at the moment. Thank you, Miss Earhart, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Please do tell our friends at home about some of your ordeal or adventure.
Certainly. I departed with my navigator, Fred Noonan, from Malaya, New Guinea on July 2nd of 1937 at 10 a.m. in the morning. And what people did not know at the time, but I now found out that I am allowed to disclose, is that we were actually, this part of the mission was being funded by the government, and our task was to look out for Germans or whatnot in the water. And sure enough, we came upon a U-boat.
A U-boat?
A U-boat, yes, a Nazi U-boat in the water. And as we were about to come down and check on it, Mr. Noonan, he had recommended that we stay away from it, but I wanted to make sure that I was holding up my end and doing my good deed. So we came down to 9,000 feet, and at that point, we witnessed a temporal dimensional rift opening up above the U-boat.
Temporal rift?
Yes, it is a window almost in the time-space continuum that leads to an alternate universe or a alternate existence of sorts, a different world, but very similar to ours. Yes.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yes, well, it was, but it was quite tragic also because when this opened up, through it came this Nazi time bell. It is a bell-shaped craft that can travel through time and space, and it fired upon us. And unfortunately, Mr. Noonan was instantly vaporized. And
vaporized?
Yes, he was vaporized, and he died. Quite tragic. It was a very, very frightening moment. And along with him being vaporized, the entire half of my fuselage and part of the tail was destroyed. I was still able to manage a little bit of control of the aircraft, but it fired upon my Electra again, and I completely lost all ability to vertically stabilize, and the entire side of my elevator was gone. Everything just fell to pieces, and so I had to bail from the craft, and with my parachute, I was able to escape with my life and land in the open ocean.
Absolutely astonishing.
Yes, it was quite frightening indeed.
I can imagine.
And there was a storm. I had when I went through in my parachute, I had gone through a typhoon, and the typhoon put me into a path, I suppose, a current, which carried me to a wonderful desert island, which allowed me to survive. However, I was at that moment once I arrived at the beach, quite disappointed that I would not be the first woman to actually achieve circumnavigating the globe. However, I was quite pleased to be the first woman to actually step through the portal of a temporal dimensional rift.
Astonishing accomplishment, if you ask me.
Right? Yes, I know.
We're awfully glad that you're here to join us tonight.
It's quite lovely to be here. I'm very surprised, and things have changed so much in 20 years. But the strange thing is, I don't feel like I have changed so much, but my hair is so long now.
You look a bit different to me in all the best ways.
Oh, why? Thank you so much. So, I would love to tell you so much more.
Please do tell us more.
But actually, I'm being directed right now that I have to stop speaking about this.
Oh, my goodness, we're just so pleased to have you here. Is there no way we can continue to hear more of your adventures or your story?
I would love to speak of it, but if I disappear again, no, I'm not dead.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen at home, you've heard it here first. Amelia Earhart has returned. Quite an adventure, quite a story. We'll see you next time. Good night. Thank you, Miss Earhart, for
Thank
joining
you.
us this evening. What an honor. Thank you for sharing your
I
story.
must go now. I must
Thank
go
you
now.
very much
Yes.
again.
Okay, goodbye.
Of course. Of course.
That's a phenomenal reel there. A lot of dialogue there. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about this. How did this come about, and what's up with the scene?
Well, yeah, we came up with this idea where it was an interview where when she came back in '58 that she told her story of what happened to her to the government, and she had this interview where the government is kind of monitoring what she's able to say or not say, and then at the end, obviously, they're cutting her off and saying, "Don't say anymore." Um, but yeah, I love this. I think she had like this. To me, she like embodied Amelia in this. Her voice, everything.
I
And then she
loved
also had this
her
kind of,
accent that she was using.
oh yeah, and she had this kind of Winona Ryder Stranger Things thing with her eyes, where you could tell she's been through a trauma or she's been through this real ordeal that kind of has given her a rap on the noggin too, you know. And I think it was a perfect performance. I really just loved this. The minute she gave it to me, I'm like, oh, you did this perfect performance. Thank you. Yes, just to me, this was telling the story I needed to tell all this time. You know, this interview was perfect.
I really like it. I love how she embodied that inflection and the accent that Amelia Earhart would have actually had. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's just phenomenal. I mean, just great acting all around. I can't wait to see when you guys really gear up and get this going. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut this here. Bring that off the screen and bring us back up here. I want to bring up. You got two other writers on here. Garrett O'Brien, who we've had on the show before, and am I pronouncing his name? How do you pronounce Brian's last name?
Brian DeVries.
DeVries. Okay, I had it right the first time. Sweet. I
Yeah,
have the thing
first
where I
time.
don't like to mispronounce people's names, as I don't want to disrespect them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Garrett and Brian to our show. Welcome,
Awesome.
Garrett. Welcome, Brian. Brian, you're still on mute, brother. There we
Sorry
go.
about that. Had a daughter going to bed. Made sure you didn't hear any of the awful noises.
That's okay. I have a daughter as well, and those are awful noises when that happens.
She's two, so they're terrible.
So, Brian, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into the film careers and how you got affiliated with the Time Girl series.
Well, Mike and I have been friends for 28 years or so. Would that be right, Mike?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
We were introduced to each other by a mutual friend, and this mutual friend knew that we were both into things like comic books and movies, especially movies. And we started seeing movies together and standing outside having a smoke after each movie and standing there talking for an hour. And several dozen of those turned into, why don't we come up with our own idea? And that's what gestated in Mike is this the whole Amelia Earhart thing. That was about 7-8 years ago when we first sat down and talked about it, and I think wrote something down for the first time. And recently is when I came on to write full time on the show. an unemployed teacher, so this is a perfect opportunity for career change.
Perfect.
You know,
Absolutely.
this stuff on TV, you see these movies and go, why? I could have come up with that, or I could have come up with something better than that.
Mhm.
That was terrible.
Yes.
Why do we have to keep watching this dreck? Why can't there be something fresh and new? And that's why I do Time Girl, because we really want this to be fresh and new and representative of the times we live in. Just like most pieces of art, you're representing something. This is a reflection of Mike and his daughters and the times we live in.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's really like a very interesting story. At what point did you come on to start writing for this, and how far along did you start into it?
Well, Mike had another writer working with him, and they got to a certain point, and that point was just a few months ago. And Mike and I had to sit down and talk about it's time for me to make that career change and sit down and do the writing I know I can do. I believe I've always been a good writer. I've just never found anything I really want to write about until now. And that was very recently.
Yeah. Where did you find inspiration for the parts that you're writing in this?
Well, the usual, I was spellbound by Star Wars. That's when I first appreciated a true story. And I clearly remember as a kid hiding under the dining room table to watch The Empire Strikes Back. My father was watching it, and he didn't know that I snuck out of bed to watch it. And when Luke got his hand chopped off, and I stood up and banged my head on the underneath of the table, which gave my father a scare.
Oh wow.
A double scare. And that's literally knocked it into my brain for the rest of my life. That was
I mean, that's an awesome image right there. Seeing a scene in a movie and what happened to you guys, both epitomizes the greatest of father-son moments.
yeah, that was it was ironic. It was funny.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
That
Man,
was the turning point for me. That's when I got into when I played with my toys, I was making my own movies.
right.
Always
Kids'
making my own.
imagination. And if you never grow out of that, like I have never grown out of that. Like I used to play with little professional wrestling action figures, growing up, and now I'm literally in the fight world and pro wrestling world and all this stuff as well. And just it's amazing what you come up with, from being a kid to growing into an adult. Now I just got bigger toys,
Yeah.
cooler stuff. And what's cool is I got a little daughter who sees all the production stuff we're doing here, and like I'll go in there and she's playing with her Barbies, but she's got like a little flashlight, in the dark, like they're doing like little movie scenes or promos and stuff. And she just loves what we're doing, and it's kind of fun seeing that she's interested in the production side of stuff. And I mean, she's only 10.
I clearly remember having trailers for my movies that I made. I had a lot of Transformers. I don't know why my parents decided to go the Transformers route instead of Star Wars toys. I knew I was big into Star Wars, but I always got Transformers toys.
Probably because they're less expensive than they were back then.
True.
Those Star Wars toys were, I remember them being extremely expensive compared to a lot of the other action figures and other like marketable toys.
Like
we did Ninja Turtles mostly for our stuff.
I remember being jealous of the Millennium Falcon that neighbors had.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing it in Toys R Us. Even then, it was like $80.
Did you see
That was
the
my
video of Harrison Ford pranking the guy that built the Millennium Falcon out of Legos?
No.
So the guy's handing him, and it's on some kind of interview set or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, can you autograph this for us?" And it's this giant Lego Millennium Falcon that took him like months to build, right? And he's like handing it to him, and Harrison Ford goes, "Ah!" and breaks the damn thing. Like that kid, that dude was just crying, and it was just like, I don't know if they did that on purpose or if that was a legit accident, but it was crazy. But let's talk a little bit more about this Time Girl stuff. I'm going to move over to Garrett for a second. Garrett, I've heard about all the stuff that you're doing for Crossfire, playing Alex in that show. But you're going to be playing Bob Jester in this, right? Tell me a little bit about Bob and a little bit about your role writing on this show.
Well, I'm not going to tell you too much because
No, I want it all. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. Bob is a simple man. He's going to be one of those guys who comes up to you and is talking like this all the time, and he's like, "Holy cow, what is that outside?" That kind of thing. Okay. So he's a real simple guy, Midwestern. He's just all about his family, all about his brother Dale.
All right. Sweet. Mikey, you want to elaborate on that a little bit? I'm pretty sure that you're allowed to say more than him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a simple guy, like you said, and he's a conservation officer. I can give you that.
Okay. Well, right on. So, Garrett, tell me a little bit about how you. Okay, never mind.
It's
Go ahead, Mikey.
What's it? Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think we got a little bit of a delay, so it's kind of going back and forth with this. So, I was going to ask Garrett, how did you come on to the series as a writer, and what all are you doing with this?
Well, the funny thing is the movie industry is a really small thing. Actually, Jennifer Rhee was the one who recommended me to be on Time Girl, to play a character. We didn't know the name of the character at the time. That just, under recent things, we found a name for him. But no, Jennifer Rhee, who I actually met on, I was doing background on one of the films that was filming here in Oklahoma, and I kept seeing her. I kept seeing a couple of the other actors and stuff on the thing, and before you know it, I got pulled on a Crossfire because she recommended me for that. And then, with her talking to Mikey, she recommended me for Time Girl as well.
Awesome.
And then, out of good faith, Mikey is like, "Sure, bring him aboard." So
nice. That sounds pretty awesome. You said you guys got about 10 episodes written already. How quickly did you guys collaborate and get those really pumped out?
Well, once we got everything squared out as far as like the outline and stuff like that and what we wanted for each episode, they're moving right along. It's just the creative thinking and the collaborative effort to get this out is it's phenomenal. Mikey tells us what he wants, we write it, he looks at it, and what do you want to change? What could we add to? What can we take away? It's very rarely will he be like, "I don't like it." It's just a matter of us all collaboratively communicating, which we do pretty much every day. We're on video as we're writing, so it's a team effort. Team effort. I can't speak tonight. Good Lord.
It's okay. Just take your time, brother. I'm getting tongue-tied as well on some of this stuff.
I've been writing most of the day too, so my words are.
When kids all play in the sandbox and you have the figures out and you're all just jiving and coming up with storyline together and sitting in that sandbox, just all getting along. That's what this feels like. Like we're 3 kids in a sandbox and we're just having a ball. It's just if we don't have those moments where we have problems, we don't have it. It's just smooth sailing and we all have the same vision. So heck yeah, dude. It's just a ball, man.
Hell yeah. I totally dig it. Brian, you want to elaborate on that a little bit from your perspective?
Well, I'd say in the last 2 months we've really hammered out 7 episodes worth, I want to say.
Wow.
It's been moving along.
How
Yeah,
long,
we have 3
on
to go.
average, does it take to write an episode for a normal TV series?
Well, it depends on the writer. Some writers take years. There's some guys who lock themselves away for 5-6 years and write 10 episodes. you know,
Right on.
there are others who, it's like a water faucet. They do 2-3 things in a year.
Awesome. So, tell me a little bit. Who's Dale?
Mikey, you want that one?
Oh, your brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Bob Jester's brother.
he's playing Bob Jester. This is Dale Jester, his brother from Jacksonville, Illinois.
Who's playing him?
But yeah, if you want to bring it, he's in the show.
Yeah. What's his name?
That's Dale Niehaus.
Dale Niehaus.
Dale Niehaus.
Mhm.
Niehaus. Okay. I'm trying to figure out where he is. Okay. Well, he's joining us here. I'm going to bring him up. I think he's in his car, so we may have some audio issues, but I'm going to bring him into the party here. Dale, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we get a little bit of a echo, but I think we'll be okay.
Oh, okay, cool. How's everybody doing tonight?
Man, I'm hanging in there like a hair and a biscuit.
Hey, Dale.
I think that's how we're all hanging in there right now.
So we've been talking with the cast of Time Girl here. We're talking with Mikey, Garrett, and Brian. Tell me a little bit about your background and your role in this film or this series.
Well, I've been acting since 2016. Had about, I don't know, between 30 to 40 different projects I've been in since then. Didn't really find acting until my late 30s. It was kind of cool just finding that, that something that I love to do, that passionate about late in life. Not really late in life. Good Lord, I'm not even. I just turned 40, but you know what I mean.
You'll make me feel old.
Yeah.
Whatever. You ain't old. But no, and my character in the series, like I think they were just talking about, that is, I'm Garrett's brother. I'm Dale Jester. Isn't that what the name was, Mikey? Dale Jester?
Yep.
So let me get this straight. Your real name is Dale, and your character's name is Dale?
Dale Jester. You're a cook.
Yep, and actually it's kind of funny is I've been a cook in real life too, so that actually fits really well as well, And yeah, my name's Dale in the series too. That's kind of funny. So it'd be real easy whenever they say the name Dale, I'll be able to answer that real easy,
It just got typecasted with the name. Awesome. That's awesome. If it works, it works. Can't beat it.
Exactly.
Tighten this up a little bit. Get you guys on here a little bit clearer. So, tell me a little bit about your character. Like what kind of food does he cook?
Oh man, I'm thinking he's probably gonna be cooking a little bit of everything. Home cooked
He's a
food.
pastry chef.
Oh, a pastry chef. Okay, see, I'm still learning about pastry stuff. So I love to make the pastries. I love to make the sweets, the yummy treats, all that good stuff.
All right on. Get you a good bagel. Can't beat a good bagel.
Oh no, you can't beat a good homemade bagel, man. Especially made the right way. Add some nice cream cheese on it. Oh yeah.
Can't beat that one bit. So, Garrett, we're on here with your brother, Bob.
Hey, bro.
And Bob and Dale.
What's up, bud?
Hey, bud.
So I have to wonder, like, in order to get onto this, do I got to shave my head too? Because I mean, looking around,
got that going on.
Yeah, you're the odd man out.
I promise we're not.
Man, I just realized that we're all bald on here, ain't we? Except for you. Yeah, well, almost. Yeah, wow.
I mean, I used to be kind of bald, like way back in the day. Like I may have some pictures of that. Like, good Lord, back in my fighting days. Like I never really had hair. Let me see if this one.
I had a full head of hair until I turned 18.
So,
Same here.
I had a full head of hair till I turned in my 30s and it started to thin out.
Oh man,
18 for me too. I started going bald when I was like 17 already.
Oh, I shaved my choice. It was one of those rebellion things. My mom's like, "I love your hair," and I turned 18. I was like, "Eh."
F your feelings. That's awesome.
That's great.
No, then I joined the military, and then that pretty much stuck. So it's been there ever since.
Yep.
You got a good looking head, Garrett. So there you go.
That was weird.
Yeah, let me retrain that. I mean, we're just gonna leave that one alone. That was weird. I don't know why I said that.
Love your head, Garrett.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that one alone. Anyway.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a. I'm gonna pop this up here in a second. This is kind of my shaved head days. I didn't start going skin bald until later, but back in my fighting days, I would be fully bald because
Nice.
I didn't want anybody grabbing my hair.
Yeah, that was one of the things that they taught us in jiu-jitsu is, hair is a weapon, man. It's also a tool. If your knee is accidentally on their hair and you don't know it, fair game.
I actually used to, whenever I grapple people that had long hair, I would deliberately step on it, and then I'd like pull up on their belt just to kind of get a bridge on them.
Oh yeah,
I was kind of vicious back in the day. Like I can't help it.
You got to do to win, right?
Yeah. Sweet. Sorry, I had a promoter messaging me at the time. I got so many things going on at once, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. Speaking of long hair in a fight, though, one of my last amateur fight, I fought a guy from I can't remember, somewhere in Ohio. I can't remember, Findlay, Ohio, I think is where it was, and his name was Matt Winklejohn, and he had hair down to his back, but in a ponytail for our fight. And I mean, he was like one of those handlebar mustache old biker dudes, right? And he trained at like some taekwondo school up in Ohio. We fought, and we were kind of grappling back and forth, kind of jockeying for a clinch, a dominant clinch position. He got me up against the cage, and his hair got in my mouth. And like it was so gross. Like I ended up gagging from it, and my mouthpiece fell out on his shoulder. And my sister was my corner person, kept yelling at the ref that my mouthpiece was out. And the ref, who was actually Josh Rafferty, one of the season 1 contestants from The Ultimate Fighter, was refereeing our fight that night. He didn't notice the mouthpiece, and I ended up like unlatching my arm, trying to unhook that just so I can grab my mouthpiece and put it back in real quick. And as soon as I did that, Matt ended up like kind of breaking off a little bit and trying to tee off on my head, and was just hitting the top of my head, wasn't hurting me at all. And I was just like, damn it, I'm not gonna take this. So I overhand righted him, knocked him completely out, and I ended up finishing the fight with some ground and pound, and like it was kind of crazy. But yeah, long hair in a fight, man, it just not belong.
Yes,
I've choked people with their own hair before.
It works, man. Choke people with their gi.
Mm-hmm.
That's a death I'll never suffer. Death by hair.
I did security for a casino for a while, and I used to use the suit that we wore as a kind of a kimono style gi. In my mind, it was just a fancy gi. And when we'd had to go hands on with people that got unruly and started fighting, I would like lock them up with all kinds of submissions and whatnot with them. My supervisor thought I was kind of crazy though. But. So let's talk a little bit more about Time Girl. I know we're still in the market for financing. I don't want to get too far into that, but how is that coming along with the schedule for your filming?
Well, we feel pretty confident
We're
once
still
we get
waiting
to
on the
the
financing,
episodes.
but we're in a lot of different talks and working on it. So
Okay, Garrett, you want to elaborate on that
Brian?
for us a little bit?
Yeah, we're actually we're in some talks right now. That's about all the information I can give you. It's definitely a process, and we're as Brian was saying, we're pretty confident everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. But as far as elaborating and stuff on that, that's about all I can go into on that.
Okay. Do you guys kind of have any kind of a estimated schedule when you're going to start filming, or what something you're shooting for?
I think Mikey's got a pretty good delay.
Yeah, he's delayed quite a bit.
As soon as the money comes in, we'll know that for sure.
Okay. Well, that's fair. And I mean, I hope to have you guys back on the show again. We can elaborate a little bit further, maybe have some more material to show. I think you guys just posted another little teaser trailer or sizzle reel or something on your YouTube page last week. What's going on with that? If
Are
you
you
want,
referring
I
to
can
the
play.
soundtrack? We posted the soundtrack just recently.
Okay,
we're
yeah, the
working on
soundtrack.
a second soundtrack too.
Okay. That actually looks kind of cool too. Yeah, I was seeing a lot of the graphics and stuff and,
Really
and got
great. It's being
confused.
done by the Dixie Narcos here in Jacksonville.
Okay. All right. Shoot. Well, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. We got about 4 minutes left on the show. You
One
guys
of the
got anything else? Go ahead.
biggest steps we're taking now, man, is we're trying to reach out to Danny McBride, Seth Rogen.
Okay. What roles are you wanting them to play?
To go to HBO or Amazon or one of these big, take it there.
We got Seth Rogen, who we want. We're looking to cast Rogen for him, and then as far as Danny McBride, we're looking as far as the Grand Poobah.
You literally named Rogan the Sasquatch, and you're hoping to get Seth Rogen. That's right on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, from what I'm understanding from these character descriptions, saying that Rogan the Sasquatch is a scientist, one of the smartest scientists in the galaxy. That's gonna be cool. I would love to see Danny McBride and Seth Rogen in this film. That would be just absolutely. I mean, that would blow my mind.
It'd be phenomenal.
It'd be wonderful.
Like you want to talk about an ace crew right there? That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Well, we think we got interesting enough material
Yes.
to entice those people.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to be on this. Really excited.
I think it's going to be one of the next big sci-fi series out there. I think it's going to be at every Comic-Con. It's going to be at every. It's going to be a big deal, and what I think what will come from it, in years to come, I think it'll also become a cult classic too. So I think you guys have everything, every ingredient for the right soup. You know what I mean? So I think this is going
one
to
of the things that we've been talking about. Is there's nothing else like it, and that's one of the things that inspires us. Oh, I know inspires me as a writer on it is that this is our chance to put something out there that's never been done before. And that's one of the biggest things that I think is my inspirational drive for this is just it's amazing. I mean, each day we write, we read, the day before, what the other writer wrote, and we're like, oh my gosh, man, that is freaking awesome. I love it. And you just embellish on it, or you add to it, or you talk about it, and then we just build from there.
Awesome. That's just absolutely phenomenal, guys. Well, I'm going to start wrapping this stuff up. Do you guys have anybody we give a shout out to? I'll start with Mikey. May have a heck of a delay.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my family, the Time Girl family, and all the cats and everybody in this.
Outstanding. What about you, Garrett? You got anybody we give a shout out to?
It's like last week. I give a shout out to my mom. Still giving her a shout out this week. Definitely giving a shout out to my fiance, Cassie Costello. She's been amazing. Every time I come home right, and she's always right there, just kisses me on the top of the head or brings me a plate of food. It's just one of those things. So I definitely got to give her a shout out. She's an amazing woman. By the way, we're getting married on the 24th. So
sweet.
Congrats.
Sweet. Congratulations, brother.
Appreciate it.
Or I'm sorry. I don't know.
Oh no.
Condolences.
Awesome.
No, I've met her. She's actually a wonderful woman. I think you guys are gonna be setting the world on fire together. So I have to give a little bit of picking on every once in a while.
Of course. She's a good sport too.
Oh, she's awesome. Every time I talk with her, she's just a bundle of joy and just a phenomenal soul. So I think you hit the jackpot, brother.
I definitely did.
Dale, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yes, actually, my parents in Indiana, I miss them terribly. I always have to give a shout out to my 3 boys. They're my pride and joy in this world. And and to my grandmother. I always have to give all them tribute to anything I do, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have the motivation to keep doing what I do.
Outstanding. Quick question: what part of Indiana is your parents from?
Evansville, actually, 20 minutes north of Kentucky. That's where all my family actually is, except for me and my kids and my ex. But Evansville.
Okay. I used to live in Indiana for like 1 year when I was like in 5th grade, but it was way up north near Lake Michigan, little town called Syracuse.
Okay. Oh, okay. You lived up on the far end up there, and I live far down south of there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're from. Awesome.
Yeah, I've been through Evansville quite a bit, though. I know that town quite a bit. So shout out to the fam. Brian, you got anybody you would give a shout out to before we?
A shout out to anybody listening who has an interest in the finest sci-fi series of the 21st century. Don't let it pass you by.
No.
This is for real. We're serious.
I'm digging this. This is fun.
There.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this little Martian character.
Yeah, that's Bink, man.
Bink.
Yeah.
Like
Bink,
I think
Bink's an all-star.
this is going to be my new baby Yoda. This is going to blow up right here. This little character right here.
Just wait, man. Just wait. That's all I gotta say.
It's going to be like the best thing like science fiction has ever had.
Dude, I'm totally making a Teddy Ruxpin style Bink.
Holy crap! You son of a... I'm in.
That's awesome. Heck yeah.
I'm gonna play Back in Black in it or something. I'm gonna play whatever. Like my favorite thing to do with the Teddy Ruxpin was play some AC/DC Highway to Hell.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, man. I like that. That's awesome.
Like I'm all about it. Like you got like I'm excited. It's great.
That's awesome.
Like merchandising. I'm gonna be like yogurt from Spaceballs. Merchandising. I'm all about it. The Schwartz. So yeah, you already done got me excited. And all I have to do is plug in an MP3 and a damn teddy bear.
Now I'm gonna have to go ruin my fiance's night and watch Star Wars.
Yeah, that ain't bad. I think
yeah.
I think Netflix has Spaceballs on it. So.
Oh yeah, definitely Spaceballs.
My daughter, crazy enough, my 10-year-old daughter just loves Spaceballs.
That movie's amazing.
It's the best. But like I don't really know if I'm allowed as a parent to really show her that movie, but like I did. And when they found out the name of the lieutenant, she could not stop laughing. Like, we're surrounded by assholes, and she just giggled and fell off the damn floor. Like she just lost her shit. It was great. She's over here laughing right now, just thinking about it.
Dark Helmet is definitely my favorite character.
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, I think Mel Brooks, anything that man touched was just damn near gold.
Indeed.
Oh my God! Yes, indeed.
There will never be another great like Mel Brooks. I don't think. I mean, we may have some solid comedic geniuses coming out, but there's never going to be another Mel Brooks.
Oh,
Nobody will get away with what he got away with anymore. Those days are over.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, fellas, I certainly appreciate your time. I'm hoping to have some more from the Time Girl series. I think we're going to end up making a Talk Before the Walk special Time Girl series itself, just featuring this cast and crew and whoever Mikey can bring on the show with us and introduce them. We may have Deborah Twist back on the show. Hopefully, get some more people in there. When Jennifer gets to feeling better, she is always welcome on my show. I love talking with her. Of course, like we're martial arts nerds, so we're gonna talk back and forth with that. And just I love getting to talk with you guys, and it's such an honor to have you. So you guys are welcome back anytime you wanna promote anything, even if it's other series and stuff. Let's just hit me up and we'll talk about it. So thank you, gentlemen, for stepping on here, and we'll see you again. Hopefully, maybe next week. All right.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Justin.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Get everybody off of here. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate you, brother. All right, guys, you heard it right there from some of the cast and the crew and writers and creators of the new Time Girl TV series. They're looking, obviously, getting the financing and stuff getting that taken care of. They'll be starting filming shortly after that's hammered out. It's going to be a huge thing, man. Get involved with this stuff right now. This is when it counts. This is when you get OGs. Oh, hold up, I got Moretta coming on. I'm not going to end this without having Moretta. She's one of my peoples. I'm gonna wait till she gets up on here. All right, Moretta, welcome to the show.
Hi.
We were getting ready to kind of wrap it up, but then I saw you, and I'm like, I'm not skipping a chance to talk to Moretta.
Oh,
So,
I saw that. I jumped.
how
in
are you doing
late. I
today?
apologize. Good. How are you?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm finer than frog hair split four ways. I'm just super happy to have everybody on here. Last time I got to saw you, we were at the BCW event this past Saturday, and was just hanging out and having a great time. What'd you think
That
about
was a
that stuff?
blast. That was the
Wasn't
first
that your
time
first?
I ever
Yeah.
attended anything like that. It beyond my expectations. So
Yeah.
fun. So fun.
It's pretty fun to kind of get that live stunt show right in front of your eyes.
Absolutely. That
You know,
and there's just something about having Jennifer Ree right next to you talking smack, and
she
at
gets
any
into it.
moment you think you're just going to drag her up there and let her duke it out. That was probably the highlight of the whole thing.
I was doing commentary for the live stream show of it, and I remember when Doc Black came over there after his match to deliberately talk crap to y'all, and Jennifer looked like she was about to come over that barricade. And I was like, "Oh man, Doc Black better watch out. Jennifer Ree's a legitimate black belt martial artist. She can hold her own."
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It was so
she's
fun.
so awesome. She's not feeling well today, so our heart, our thoughts and prayers and well wishes go out to Jennifer today, and hope she gets to feeling better pretty soon because I want to have her back on the next episode we do.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what you're doing with Time Girl.
Well, I do have one other role. My role in Time Girl is Elsa Volkenrath. I wish Mikey was still here because I'm not sure what exactly he is okay with me sharing. I do play a villain, so I'm super excited to finally get my taste and putting some of my evil out there. I'm excited about that, and I'll also be helping with makeup effects. So some of the
Okay.
special effects makeup.
You are incredibly talented, an incredibly talented makeup artist.
Thank you.
I see, some of the stuff that you post on social media, like you did that cut the other day that just looked, I mean, so real and so phenomenal. How did you get started in doing the makeup art like that?
I just my interest in makeup. I'm going to SFX school right now, so
Okay.
I have a fascination for gore and blood.
Right on. I'm gonna get Mikey back up on here. He's gonna be signing on here in just a second. He's coming back on. Jennifer, of course, is saying that you're awesome, which can't deny that. Everything I've seen from you, as far as like your makeup and your artwork and your paintings and your drawings and stuff like that, is just top notch.
Correlates over from because I'm also a cake artist. I love doing like crazy cakes. Like one time I designed a steampunk gumball machine cake. So it was my own original idea. I've done it twice now, and did a new updated version of it. But that's one of my favorite things to do is recreate realism, whether it be like
Yeah.
sculpture, cake, makeup, something like that. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the realism.
How do you find the materials to make the makeup and the frosting and all that stuff to make it look so real?
For makeup?
Yeah.
Some of it is actual makeup material, and some of it's just having to get creative, thinking outside the box. I mean, that's just like with almost any, I think, multimedia artist. Sometimes you don't just use, some painters don't just use paint. Sometimes creating paint, sometimes you use different textures and actually use paper or pieces of metal, or even, a lot of artists now we use sand or pieces of glass, and just thinking outside the box, getting a little creative to create what it is you've got up here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I totally get that. Let's see if Mikey's on here yet. No, he hasn't come back on yet. I'm trying to get Mikey up here so we can elaborate more on your character and find out what's going on with you.
I'd hate to get a slap
So,
on the wrist.
yeah, tell me a little bit about some of the other projects you've been working on lately.
I'm lately working on Crossfire, which we did our interview with you.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Uh-huh.
Anybody wants to know about that, they could tune into that episode, check that out on the Talk Before the Walk Facebook page. So
Absolutely.
check that out.
I may potentially helping out with some music production, because I also went to school for music production.
Okay.
And somehow
That's
Jennifer
awesome.
did that. She just found that out recently. So she got to hear some of my stuff, and I think they might be pulling me on to work on some of the music too, which I'm excited
Right on.
about.
Well, we've got Mikey up here. I'm going to bring him up here. Mikey, we got Moretta Ballou here. Just trying to talk about her character and stuff in the Time Girl series, and she mentioned that she's kind of new to it right now, and she going to bring you back up here to kind of elaborate on her role and what's going on with her stuff.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you. So Morgana Le Fay is our main villain, and Morgana wants to wipe off men off of the planet, and she plays Elsa, her best friend, in Evil, and actually she becomes more of an emperor type figure in this too. So both of them are definitely the supreme evil of the universe together.
Right on. What do you got to say about that, Moretta?
I have one thing to say, and it's eyebrows. Evilness in the eyebrows. I'm excited. Am I a little scared of it? Yes, but in all the right ways. I'll just say that. In all the right ways.
You got to be a little bit scared.
Absolutely.
If it's something important, you got to be a little bit scared. I mean, don't let that fear paralyze you, but at least let you know that you respect it. That's a philosophy I've had. I mean, there's been moments when I've been scared to death of doing something, and sometimes you just got to be like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a beautiful thing. Well, Mikey,
Yep.
Mikey, how did you get Moretta involved with this?
Same thing. Jennifer, introduced me, and we all just kind of got together as a crew. Everybody on Crossfire started getting to know each other, and then Time Girl, we all wanted to work together on that too. So yeah, we've all kind of blended crew to become a family.
Right on. I mean, I'm loving how much integration you guys have with some of a lot of the cast from the Crossfire crew into the Time Girl series. I love how it's going to have a lot of similar faces, actors, cast members or crew members. It's really awesome. I could tell the passion that you guys are bringing to this, so it's pretty awesome. I'm really excited to see both of these projects really you blow up and be what everybody dreamt they could be. So, well, guys, thank you all for being on my show. I'm running way over time, but I didn't want to end this without getting Moretta up on here because we love you to death, girl. So, yeah, Moretta, you got anybody you want to give a shout out to real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. My friends, my family, everybody on cast, everybody's just so supportive and so creative and excited, and just it's contagious. Just the excitement and the fuel and the motivation to move forward is just so contagious, and have nothing but mad respect. And to you, shout out to you. Thank you for all of the support. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's truly an honor to have you guys on my show. Normally I'm, just doing, mixed martial artists. I'm doing, fighters, boxers, wrestlers, stuff like that coming on here. And to be able to get, other artists, in their craft, with the sci-fi world, with the action movie world, with the thrillers and stuff like that, with someone especially as talented as you in music and art, makeup, design. Obviously, you're going to be acting. I know you're going to do a great job with that. Somebody like Jennifer, who's incredibly talented from top to bottom, just phenomenal, overcome a lot of obstacles, and is just really paving a way as a true trailblazer in and of herself. We got Garrett, representing Brian on here. All you guys, it's just such an honor to be able to have you on my show. So, thank you all so much. I'm going to have to go ahead and kind of cut this off now because we're about to run 20 minutes over. So thank you all both for being on my show. I can't wait to get some more Time Girl series cast members and crew members on to talk about their roles on this. And we'll get that set up, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. All right, guys, y'all heard it right there. We had Mikey Tiffany, we had Moretta Ballou, one of the next up and coming, I think, going to be one of the most talented makeup artists you're going to see on the scene. You're going to see a lot of her work on the Crossfire film. You're obviously going to see a lot of her work on the Time Girl series as well. And with her coming on board, you're going to get a next level of realism and authenticity, I think, from her art and makeup design that you just wasn't going to see, any other way. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everything that's coming from these guys. Brian DeVries, obviously a very talented man. I'm looking forward to seeing him taking that step into away from just being a school teacher, which I mean. Thank you for your service on that because that's a job in and of itself that I think is technically a really thankless job. But making a career switch into really exploring your creativity, I think will be uh, a very good example, to strive for greatness for the students that you had before you. So, I think that's going to, be a phenomenal thing to kind of show them the greatness that could come from within. And there's a lot of inspiring stories that come from this crew and this cast. I mean, a lot of obstacles that they've overcome, a lot of stories they have left to tell. They're going to be one of the next big things in the movie and TV scenes. So, check them out, guys. Thanks again for tuning in to the Talk Before the Walk. I've been your host, Cool Breeze Justin Christie. Real quick shout out to my sponsor. Let me get back to him so I can read it because I can't remember things. I'm getting old. I'm getting up there. I'm not really that old, but I'm like, man, I've been hitting the head a lot. All right, real quick shout out. Thank you to the Firm Sports Management Group for all your fighter management needs and next level fighter representation. Representing fighters across the globe, choose the Firm Sports Management Group to take your fight career to new heights. Special shout out to Rome Black Hulk Lindsay, who will be taking on Alfred Freight Train Walker this Friday at the XFN show for the XFN Lightweight Kickboxing Championship. So that'll be phenomenal. It's going to be a professional bout. And then we have an amateur fighter, Carlos Nacho Hernandez, who's stepping in on just 48 hours notice once again to fight on this card in a kickboxing match against Devin White. This is going to be an undercard match. I'm not 100% sure it's going to be on UFC Fight Pass, but we're going to get through it and do our thing. But shout out to him. Anybody who if you guys are watching, these are the fighters that really need help with their sponsorships right now. Even if it's just a couple bucks thrown their way, folks like Carlos Hernandez, he was driving up. He was on a job from San Antonio, driving up on 48 hours notice to take this fight in Tulsa. Just ready to go, always ready. It's those type of fighters we need to get behind. We need to support our local fighters. His company that he's working for, McDaniels Diversified Services LLC. Thank you so much for your support for Carlos and letting him take the day off without like any notice for you guys. You're left without a hand on your job site, but you've got a guy on your crew that's trying to follow his dream and you are supporting him. So I'll tell you what, I support McDaniels Diversified Services LLC. I recommend them because they have heart and soul. They have a heart and they're willing to support their workers. So absolutely shout out to McDaniels Diversified Services LLC for your support for Carlos Nacho Hernandez, who I think is going to put on. He's always one of those fiery devil dogs. You know what I mean? He's a Marine. He's always ready to go. And last time he fought, he won fight of the night in his match, and they went to a full decision in an MMA fight. So always ready to put on a show, and I have no doubt that he's ready to do the exact same thing this Friday, tomorrow at the River Spirit Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So come check those out. The fights start at 6 p.m. And it's going to be pretty awesome. Don't want to miss it. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, we're going to have the Time Grill series cast on here again later on. When there's more to develop, we're going to try to get the Crossfire series team back on. I'm hoping to get some other film and movie crews and TV crews and everybody else on here as well. Next week, we're going to have hopefully some aftermath for the combat kickboxing up in Iowa, Davenport, Iowa. We featured them with the former CEO of M1 Global and one of the best MMA managers in the business from day one. Monty Cox was on there, so we're going to have them back on and find out who the tournament winners are. There's I believe 5 tournaments in different weight classes, so we're going to get all those guys on here, hopefully if they can make it, to hear their story about their triumphant victory in those tournaments. So that'll be pretty awesome. And then hopefully we'll get whoever wins out of the freestyle cage fighting event and get some people that won out of the XFN series as well. We may have a pretty big episode of Aftermath then. And then we're going to start filtering in some Rage in the Cage 80 interviews with a lot of the fighters from that are going to be fighting on there. I'm hoping to get literally everybody I can on that card to get some time on camera, because we're here to support our local fighters and get their stories out to you. That's what this whole show is about. It's not about me. It's about our guests that come on and getting their stories out. So we absolutely thank all of our supporters and thank all of our guests for coming on. We're gonna tell their stories and build some more interest in them. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I've been Cool Breeze, Justin Christie. Y'all stay cool. Talk to you later.